The Thing. Yes! So, not way too long ago, I opened The Thing. Then I ordered a thing from Amazon. Amazon gave me a verification that they had a thing. They were sending me a thing. I would receive a thing soon from Amazon, which is good because you figure when you order a thing from Amazon, they should give you a thing because you ordered a thing, and then that thing should come in the mail, and then you should get that thing. Then I got the thing, and I opened the thing, and I brought the thing up here, and I thought to myself, it would make a lot of sense because we've already opened a thing that I should compare my new thing to my old thing and see which thing I like the most. So let's look at the box. All right, here we go. The Thing. And this, look, I don't normally buy these big old chonky figures. I don't, it's not my thing. I normally don't do it. But like, he looks awesome. He looks every bit as awesome as the other one that I have. And maybe, I would imagine that once I get in here and look him over, it's probably because he might be the same figure. I don't know. He's probably a lot of reuse, but we'll see when we get him open and everything like that. I love the side. I think that art is absolutely fantastic. Back here we have the cross cell. And as of yet, as of right now, Dr. Doom, I have him. The Thing, I have him. These three, we don't have. And this one, I did buy, but the She-Hulk that I got was not right. Like at all. It was wrong. So I had to send her back, and we're going to try a different vendor, see if we can get a hold of her. Because I want this whole line. I want the Super Skrull. As normal, these are absolutely fantastic boxes. If you're an inbox collector, you can hang that on your wall and you'd have no problems whatsoever. But me, I'm an opener, and I want to see this big mug standing outside the box next to the other thing. So look, here's the thing. I'm sorry. I know I'm terrible tonight. I know. To put this the best way, all I could tell you is I got really bored and I was like, I gotta do a video. And then I realized I had the thing, and now I'm just out there. One of the things sorry. That's gonna happen a lot in this video, even if I don't mean to do it, huh? So anyways, one of the things that I definitely noticed right off the bat is that his orange is different from his orange. I don't know if it's just a wash or if it's an overall different paint in general, but it's different. Like, I can see a lot more work in here, I guess, but I don't think it's different. In fact, when I'm looking at the two guys here, I see this right here, this peck right here and this peck right here, and they both have the same square taken out of them. So I'm willing to say these are the same bodies. However, and I can't guarantee this, because I noticed the knee has that cut right there, and this knee has the cut right there, which is the same. But this part, I think, might be different. But no, because this is the same. Okay, so I see what's going on. The thigh swivel is where they did it. This is a reuse of all this. This part is the only part that is legit different. The original thing has his tighty-whitey boxer brief, tighty-whitey briefs, his sportsman trunks, right? His strongman trunks. And his face actually is different because the eyebrows are not in, they come out. So what I mean by that is that later on, see, he had these like a hard ridge that almost looked like a hat. You see what I'm talking about? They used to come out over his eyes, and that was very normal for the thing. And then later on, they became eyebrows. So this thing is very much the older older thing, and he has the eyebrows, and it's cool. He's got like that big lip and everything like that, and the Thing is so cool, guys. He's just so cool. The Thing, I love the Thing, man. I really do. And I also, one of the features that I've always loved about the Thing is that no matter how gruesome and scary and like a big giant rock golem man thing he is, one thing they always get, if you really pay attention, if you really look, and the toys got it too, those are straight up shining baby blues. He has the prettiest eyes, and he's supposed to. That's kind of like a window into the thing that you're actually looking at. The guy actually in there is that he was turned into this big, crazy golem monster thing. But really, he's not a monster in almost any way. He's just a simple man. And there's a really good soul inside of this creature. Now, I like this a lot. I like the black. I like the blue. I think it really helps to pop everything out. This is a separate piece. That's kind of cool. I wasn't expecting that to be a separate piece. I will never take it off. I like that for it. You'd have to literally pull the whole thing up and whatnot to get them. Both things got the butt. So they got some butt. I'm really fighting with myself here. So here's the thing. I did it again. I'm not meaning to do that. I'm really not. I like his shorts better. I don't know about the face. In some instances, I like the eyebrows better. But at the same time, you could argue, and you could easily win that argument, that there's something about the old face that really works. And I also like having his teeth. Now, there were 2 heads for this one, so there wasn't 2 heads for this one, because, specifically, this thing came with the Skrull faces. So, of course, we got both our Skrull faces, and that's going to come in handy later on when, of course, we build the Super Skrull, which is something I'm looking forward to quite a bit, actually. In fact, I've put almost every other collectible item on hold until I can track down and finish this line, so that I guarantee that I don't put it off even further and never get it. I want the Super Skrull. I don't want it to slip through my fingers. I want it. And I also have like a convention coming up here, and maybe if I bide my time, take a little money with me to the convention, maybe I'll get lucky and they'll be selling the ones that I'm missing. We'll see. But as it stands right now, I'm liking this just as much as I liked this one, which should be no surprise because, like, it's the same body. I wish I could get that, where he's, like, putting it, but you can't. You can't actually get that pose, which is a shame. So, like, I just kind of do this, like, one hand down, and he's got this fist up, and he's like, you ready to go? And, yeah, that's the best I could do, because you can't get him putting his hand in there like that. And this, I imagine, is the exact same way. You can't get them. There's not enough movement to, like, let him, like, hit his fists together or whatever, which would be really cool. So he's basically just going to stand around and be really menacing and everything. But he is menacing. Man, my favorite bruiser of all time is the Thing. If you ask me about, there's like your favorite smart person in each team. There's the heart of the team that you like. There's the really bad mug dude, like your Wolverine and whatnot, which I would basically reference Wolverine as kind of like your DPS. Maybe he's a tank. Maybe that's allowed. I don't know. You get the idea, but like Bruiser, big, strong, huge, strong dude, Thing has always been my absolute favorite of all time. And what I'm fighting with myself about, because these guys are so similar, I think the heads are a tie, depending on the situation. I like his shorts better. Now I'm fighting with myself about the color. There's something to be said about just the solid orange here. But something feels a little more dynamic about the color they chose here. And I'm fighting with myself, is it a darker orange or does it have a wash? And it's hard for me to tell. It's really hard for me to tell and guarantee as I spin them around and kind of try to look, this might be a wash. Because right there I'm seeing it almost looks like brushes went down his arm. This one might be cooler in terms of body. Just because of a paint app. He might have won this little debate here. Not a huge deal. But if I'm comparing the two things that I have, he might be the superior one. But like I said, this is really close. And it's going to be very much like a circumstantial, subjective type thing. Sorry. Because he's every bit as cool as he is. Every bit. Which I guess shouldn't be surprising because it's almost 100% reuse. It's like 80% reuse. Yeah. So, awesome. The Thing added to the shelf again. And I love it, man. I love it. 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 I can't get enough of it. Now, this is going to be really cool. Normally, you would say, oh, Bill, I thought you didn't really double dip, but you just bought the same figure twice. You could argue that's kind of true. And I get that. But I mean, there is a difference. I think what excites me the most about finishing this is that I will have the absolute classic Fantastic Four on the shelf. And right next to them, I will have the modern day Fantastic Four on the shelf. And in some ways, I really do prefer the modern costume more. Either way, I straight up love this. Like, this is one of the coolest figures on the shelf. Ever. He's really, really cool. Both of them. The only thing I could say is that I almost wish enough time had passed before we got him that we got a couple of improvements. Like, I would have liked to have seen the biceps have movement so that he actually could have done something like that. You know what I'm talking about? That would have been cool. Or if I could have got that pose where he hits his hands together. You know what I'm talking about? That would have been cool. I can't even really necessarily get him into like a straight up boxing pose, I don't think, because I think he would resist me a little bit. Well, maybe not, actually, now that I'm looking at it, because you put kind of one, you can bring both hands in, kind of. It's not perfect. Turn them a little bit, because you want to put this hand slightly forward, this hand slightly up. You want to get his feet out here. You want to make sure that the toe right here meets with the back of the heel so that when he steps forward, that's kind of right. It's still not perfect. It's not what I'd like him to be necessarily, but you could get kind of like a straight up boxing pose out of this guy. I don't know. That's my only real problem, is I think some of the articulation is weak on the Thing. But maybe that's a good thing. Strangely enough, maybe it almost fits the story. You're talking about a man who had, if I'm not mistaken, as far as I remember anyway, you're talking about a man who had military experience, who was trained, who knows how to fight, how to survive, how to be a pilot, all these different things like that. And then all of a sudden he goes through this body horror situation where before you know it, he's stuck in this situation where it's no longer his body, the one that he knows, the one that he's learned, the one that he's adapted to all of his life. It's funny to him. He's heavy. He doesn't move as well. Things are more difficult for him than they were before. Like, you got to figure little things like what the movie did, where a lot of people I know that don't like that movie, but that movie talked about a lot of little things that are left out in the normal conversation with the Thing. little things that we take for granted, like picking up a glass or something like that, is now completely foreign to him in every single aspect of his life. I love the Thing, man. I love the Thing because even with that, even with his life being completely torn apart like that, and being in the situation that he's in, he's never not been grim. And I love his relationship with Alicia, man. I do. I love the Thing. What can I say? There's nothing more I could say without just completely dragging this out for no real reason. Guys, that's enough. We added Thing to the shelf. I'm more than happy to have another Thing on the shelf. I'm gonna get out of here. I've said Thing enough. Bye.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.